What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore, Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. This is the review video for SmackDown 2 nights ago, Friday Night SmackDown on Fox, from SmackDown this past Friday night on Fox, Friday, March the 26th of 2021. This is a SmackDown review from SmackDown March 26th of 2021. I know I tried to start this video up at like 8:45, 8:45 for tonight, but although around that time, but then had to get a little stretch in, not much, but a little stretch, and then so I changed it like to starting this SmackDown review video right here at like 9 o'clock, but then I had to go take a shit and a piss, so then I decided to change to start the SmackDown review video right here at like 9:10 for tonight, and it's about 9:09 right now, so beginning on time, so that's good. And this is the review video right here, folks, for the SmackDown March 26th of 2021 review video right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. The SmackDown after Fastlane 2021. We're going to talk about the show and what I thought of the show and all that other stuff. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to give my opinions. I'm going to give my opinions on the show and what I thought of the show, the matches that took place on the show, and they announced the matches for Mania this year as well. For Mania Night 1, Night 2, they announced the matches for Mania 37, Night 1 and Night 2. We'll talk about those in this video right here. We're also going to talk about the trolls. Apparently, there's trolls on Twitter now. And apparently some trolls are on Twitter right now, and there's doing this hashtag on Twitter right now, fuck Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan's now in the Universal title match, because Daniel Bryan's now in the Universal title match this year at WrestleMania. And the trolls saying hashtag fuck Daniel Bryan, which I don't understand whatsoever, and fuck the trolls who say fuck Daniel Bryan. Fuck them. Fuck the trolls. They don't know. They don't know anything. So we're going to talk about that in this video. You're going to hear some ranting on this video, believe me. So strap your seatbelts in. You're going to want to watch this one. So believe me, you're going to hear some ranting on the trolls shitting on Daniel Bryan and such. And so there's going to be a lot of ranting in this video right here as well. And I'm hoping to get this video done by 10 so I can do the review video for NXT, NXT UK, and Dynamite from this past Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully, I can get this video done by 10 to do that. So hopefully, but we'll see what happens. But we'll just dive into the show. So SmackDown. Pull up my notes. We'll pull up my notes right here. Oh, also, before we get started, SmackDown review from SmackDown 2 nights ago. The previous live stream for the Fastlane 2021 review from Fastlane last Sunday, there was a super chat. Chris Surratt, he also said John Silver have also an injury, but a shoulder injury, I believe. I don't know if I'm correct. I forgot to mention that, and I apologize, Mr. Surratt. Yeah, I heard of that too. John Silver apparently having a shoulder injury, I think, as well, which is a shame. So he'll be out for, and I'm hearing rumors of him having a shoulder injury, John Silver. I hope it's not that serious, but we'll see what happens. But so just thought I'd say that. And let's get started, man, with the SmackDown review from SmackDown 2 nights ago, the SmackDown after Fastlane 2021. So SmackDown 2 nights ago, the SmackDown after Fastlane 2021, SmackDown 2 nights ago. Show starts off with Daniel Bryan, his music His music hits. Daniel Bryan walks down to the ring and he's carrying a steel chair. Bryan gets in the ring and when he gets in the ring, he stacks the chair and he sits on the chair in the ring, in the middle of the ring. This is Daniel Bryan and he has a mic in his hands and he notes that everyone says the truth, the reality. Everyone saw Roman Reigns tap out at Fastlane. And yes, Roman did tap out, but there was no ref. So Roman was protected, so was Bryan. And I know some people were saying that Reigns looked weak at Fastlane. I don't think he did. Yeah, Roman tapped, but there was no ref. So, I mean, Roman tapped out, but the ref was out of the equation. So, yeah. Daniel Bryan says everyone saw Roman Reigns tap out at Fastlane to the yes lock. Reigns has never tapped out. Reigns has never tapped in his entire career. Reigns said he'd rather die than tap out to someone like Daniel Bryan. Reigns said he'd rather die than tap out to someone like Daniel Bryan. Reigns is still alive, but Reigns totally tapped out. Normally, that would mean Bryan would be standing here as Universal Champion and it would be going on to WrestleMania. Unfortunately, none of that is happening. Why? Because Edge hit Bryan in the back with the steel chair like the one Bryan is carrying right now. Bryan then mentions that Edge told him that he wasn't doing this the right way. Bryan says he's tired of sitting back and just letting things happen. What Bryan wants, he is willing to earn, and what he wants is a spot in the main event of WrestleMania. Bryan says he wants a title shot against Reigns. Bryan says he wants a title shot against Reigns tonight. Bryan says he's not leaving the ring until he. Bryan says he's not leaving the ring. Daniel Bryan says he's not leaving the ring until he gets it. Bryan sits in the chair and he waits, and then we go to the commercial break. Then coming back from the break, Bryan is still sitting on the steel chair in the ring, and then Adam Pearce walks out and he says that he cannot grant Daniel Bryan the title match. Bryan says Reigns tapped out. Pearce says Reigns' next defense will be against Edge. Bryan says he will face the winner of Edge and Reigns immediately after the match. Pearce says Bryan knows how unreasonable it would be to make a champion defend the title right after a match. Bryan then mockingly asks Pearce if he is suggesting doing what would be too tough for Edge and Reigns. Reigns says he can face the winner on night 2 of WrestleMania. Then Edge storms down to the ring. Edge says Bryan keeps going on and on about this WrestleMania being his last, but it's no different for Edge. Edge says he won the Royal Rumble. Bryan lost to Reigns not once but twice. Edge then screams that Bryan doesn't deserve a title shot or a title match. Edge then calls Daniel Bryan a son of a bitch. Bryan and Edge then go at it. Bryan and Edge then beat the shit out of each other. Edge and Bryan trade shots, and then Edge spears Bryan, and then Edge hits Bryan in the back with the chair, and then Edge hits Bryan in the back with the steel chair, and that was that. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink before I talk about this. Good opening segment here. Good opening segment here with Daniel Bryan and Edge. And Edge is and Edge, it looks like he's a heel. I like it. This babyface Edge is like watching paint dry with Edge as a babyface. Edge is a heel I can watch all day long. Literally. Edge is a way better heel than a babyface. And this showed in the opening segment as well as the ending segment of SmackDown 2 nights ago. And it looks like Edge is the heel in this thing. And all. And a good opening segment to open SmackDown 2 nights ago. Now, I thought they were going to have Reigns wrestle night 1 and night 2 of Mania this year. Apparently, that's not happening. I mean, Reigns on Mania 2 nights, I would not have minded because Roman's the tribal chief. He's the head of the table, but Reigns is wrestling in the main event of night 2, which I like, and the Universal title match situation for Mania this year. We're going to talk about that at the end of this video right here, with the ending of SmackDown from 2 nights ago right here with this video. But we're getting on night 2 for the Universal title match for this year at WrestleMania in Tampa. So that I will say on that. And and what was I going to say? And Daniel and what was I say? And Roman I thought they were going to do Roman, and I thought they were going to do like Edge and Bryan, and then Roman versus the winner of night 1 and night 2. I thought they were going to do that. That didn't happen. Thank God it didn't, because that would have shit on the men's Royal Rumble. And but they're going with for night 2 for this year's WrestleMania for the Universal title, and we're going to talk about that at the end of this very video. But I like the opening segment with Edge and Bryan. Edge is now a heel, and I like it. I like it, man. Edge should have been a heel. When Edge came back at the beginning of 2020, when Edge came back in early 2020, right after that, Edge should have been a heel. And Edge is a better heel than a babyface in this show right here in the opening segment. If that didn't show you that, I don't know. That didn't show you that, I don't know what does. Good opener with Edge and Daniel Bryan. And also, heel Edge is best for business. Heel Edge is the best Edge. And for the past few weeks, at least, SmackDown ratings are going down because no one wanted to see Edge on SmackDown. But now, with Edge as a heel, I found out the SmackDown overnight ratings. I might as well say right now with this video right here. The SmackDown from 2 nights ago, overnight ratings came out with Edge's official heel turn on SmackDown 2 nights ago. If I can pull it up. Hold on. SmackDown ratings. My phone never loads. Sometimes my phone loves to be stubborn on me, so hold on a minute. So SmackDown ratings. So SmackDown 2 nights ago, Edge's heel turn. So the SmackDown overnight ratings with SmackDown 2 nights ago with Edge's heel turn. 2.031 back to over 2 million viewers. Where the SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso, was below 2 million viewers. I think that was like I think like a closer to 2 million, but it was like a 1.9 something. Close to 2 million, but yeah. With the overnight SmackDown ratings with Edge versus Jey Uso. With the overnight SmackDown ratings with Edge versus Jey Uso, but the SmackDown overnight ratings from SmackDown 2 nights ago with Edge's official heel turn, 2.031 million viewers, with Hour 1 drawing 2.020 million viewers, with Hour 1 drawing 2.020 million viewers, and then Hour 2 with 2.041 million viewers. SmackDown also drew an average of a 0.5 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which was tied for number 2 for the night. The top spot went to the Shark Tank with a 0.6. And that was that. So that's what happens when you have Edge as a heel. And Adam and I said it a few days ago. You know, this is what happens when you turn Edge heel. Your ratings go up. Heel Edge is best for business. Heel Edge is the best Edge, and the SmackDown overnight ratings show it. They didn't show you that. If they didn't show you that, they did not show you that. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Edge is a better heel. Fuck babyface Edge. Fuck babyface Edge. Edge is way better as a heel than he is a babyface. Edge has always been a better heel than a babyface. Edge has always been a better villain. Edge has always been a better heel than he's a babyface, and the overnight ratings for SmackDown from tonight's Go on SmackDown, it shows it. Shows it. That doesn't show you that. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Heel Edge is so much better. And a good opener with Edge and Daniel Bryan. And then we go backstage with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, Jey Uso. Reigns tells Paul to go to Pierce or to go get Adam Pierce. Heyman then walks off, and Reigns then tells Jey Uso, excuse me, and then Reigns tells Jey Uso to go with him and use force if he has to. Uso asks if Reigns is sure. Reigns says yes. What are they going to do? Reigns says yes. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Fire us? Uso then laughs and walks away. And then we get the next segment of SmackDown 2 nights ago. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. We got the match at Fastlane. And a good match. Now, and then we got it again from SmackDown 2 nights ago. Nakamura and Rollins had a good match at Fastlane, and this was no different. They had a good match here. Not better than their Fastlane match. This was a good match. Not better than their Fastlane. Not better than their Fastlane 2021 match, but this is a good match here nonetheless. Hold on. My notes are just acting up. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Come on. Here we go. So Nakamura versus Rollins. The rematch from Fastlane 2021. Nakamura catches Rollins with a knee to the gut. Nakamura catches Rollins with the knee to the gut. Nakamura lands a few strikes in the corner to Shinsuke. Good vibrations from Nakamura. Rollins hangs Nakamura up on the top rope. Rollins tries to go up top this Rollins, but Nakamura crotches him on the top rope. Rollins ends up on the apron. Running knee from Nakamura. Nakamura walks the apron and drops the knee to the back of Rollins' head, which looked nasty. Then we go to the commercial break. Then coming back from the commercial break, we then get a sling blade from Seth Rollins. Nakamura then explodes out of the corner with a drop kick. Nakamura lands a few strikes to Shinsuke. Shinsuke suplexes Rollins on the top rope. Axe kick from Nakamura. Rollins sits up and eats a sliding knee. Does Rollins eats a sliding knee. Rollins kicks out. Nakamura gets another near fall after a sliding German from Nakamura. Nakamura then rests Rollins on the top rope. Nakamura misses a running knee. Springboard knee by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gets a 2 count. Seth Rollins then hits a Falcon Arrow, which then Rollins then hits a beautiful Falcon Arrow. 2 count only with the Falcon Arrow from Seth Rollins. Nakamura hits a landslide. There's Nakamura. Nakamura then calls for the Kinshasa. Rollins avoids it. Flying armbar from Nakamura. Rollins with a power bomb. On Nakamura to break the submission. Rollins then hits the curb stomp on Nakamura. Rollins then with the curb stomp on Nakamura. Rollins pins Nakamura. And Seth Rollins defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. Then after the match, Rollins then attacks Nakamura. Cesaro's music hits. Cesaro runs down to the ring and beats down Rollins. Swiss death uppercut from Cesaro. Cesaro then sets up the Cesaro swing, but Rollins escapes it. And Rollins is running up the ramp, and Rollins is running away Rollins runs away like a coward. And then that was that. Like I said, Nakamura Rollins. Fastlane 2021, Nakamura vs. Rollins. A good match. Good match here as well. With Nakamura vs. Rollins again. Not better than their Fastlane 2021 match. No. But this was a good match here nonetheless with Nakamura and Rollins. And Cesaro and Rollins, they made it official for Mania this year. I believe it's on night 1. This year's Mania, Rollins versus Cesaro. That should be a good match. Rollins versus Cesaro, 1-on-1. WrestleMania this year, night 1. That should be a good match, and hopefully Cesaro goes over, man. I hope he does. Should be a good match, and hopefully Cesaro gets the win. And Cesaro's first big Mania match. I don't think Cesaro's ever had that. I think this is the first one for Cesaro, so this is a big deal. It's a big deal for him, in my opinion. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal from WrestleMania 30, that doesn't count because, quite frankly, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. There's no title opportunity in the line, so the Battle Royal means nothing. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal means absolutely nothing. So, and Cesaro's been with the WWE for about almost a decade, and Cesaro with a big WrestleMania match. And Cesaro with a big WrestleMania match. I don't think Cesaro's ever had that before. So this is a big deal for Cesaro. Cesaro's first big Mania match. This is a big deal for Cesaro. And Cesaro and Seth Rollins 1-on-1 at WrestleMania this year, I believe, on night 1. That should be a really good match, in my opinion. One of the matches I'm looking forward to for this year's WrestleMania, in my opinion, outside of Reigns, Bryan, and Edge. And yeah, and hopefully Cesaro goes over. I don't trust this company, but I'm hoping and praying that Cesaro goes over. And I would love to see Reigns and Cesaro at SummerSlam this August for the Universal title. I think that would be great. I think that would be awesome, in my opinion. See what happens, but hopefully Cesaro goes over at WrestleMania this year. And one loss to Cesaro, it's not going to hurt Seth Rollins in the long run. Seth Rollins is pretty much bulletproof at this point. So one loss to Cesaro ain't going to hurt Rollins in the long run. It won't. Hopefully Cesaro goes over at WrestleMania. And then speaking of Rollins and Cesaro, and then we go backstage with Pierce walking into Reigns' locker room. Reigns tells Pierce to do the right thing. Adam Pierce says he has a lot to consider, and he will let everyone know what his decision is at the end of the night. And then we go backstage again with Rollins challenging Cesaro to a match at WrestleMania. Rollins says he will never be disrespected or swung again, says Seth Rollins. Cesaro then attacks Rollins from behind. Cesaro swings Rollins. Not 22 repetitions, but half of that, 11 repetitions. And then Cesaro lets Rollins go and then Cesaro says, challenge accepted. So WrestleMania 37, it is official. Cesaro, so it is official. Cesaro, Seth Rollins, 1-on-1 at WrestleMania 37. And then we get the next match, 6-man tag, Big E and the Street Profits versus Apollo Crews and the Alpha Academy of Chad Gable and Otis. We had Dawkins drop kicking Otis. We had Ford tagging in, and they hit a double drop kick, but Otis doesn't go down. Ford then backflips out of the corner. Ford then Ford then backflips out of the corner. Ford tries to leap over Otis, but Otis catches Ford and it's a power slam. We had Gable tagging in and he lands a few strikes. Ford tries a springboard, but Gable catches Ford and turns his leap into a picture-perfect Northern Light suplex. Cruz then tags in and works over Ford. Gable and Big E tag in. Big E clears the ring. Big E splashes Chad Gable. Chad Gable counters the big ending with an armbar. Uranagi by Big E. Otis clotheslines Dawkins into a German suplex. Ford dives over the top, taking out Gable and Otis. Cruz hits the Olympic Slam on Big E for the win. Apollo Crews and the Alpha Academy win this 6-man tag. You also had the official graphics. Another match made official for this year's WrestleMania Intercontinental Championship match. Apollo Crews, Big E versus Apollo Crews. And in the 6-man tag, man, they had Intercontinental Champion Big E. They had him lose clean in a 6-man tag. No champion should be losing clean. The champions losing clean, their thing of having champions lose clean in non-title match situations, that thing needs to die. Champions should never lose clean, ever. And champions should not be pinned. Champions should not be pinned or submitted clean. Champions should not be pinned or submitted clean in non-title match situations, man. And they had Big E get pinned, and they had Big E get pinned clean here. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And with the botched finish at Fastlane with Big E, and with the botched finish at Fastlane with Big E and Apollo Crews, I'm hoping SmackDown the next week, or SmackDown this Friday actually. I'm hoping I'm hoping Crews says something and I'm hoping they do something to. I hope they say something about the botched finish from Fastlane. I'm hoping they do. I don't have much faith in this company, but I'm hoping they have. But I'm hoping they say something, or I hope Crews says something about the botched finish at Fastlane. Hopefully. We'll see what happens, and hopefully Crews wins the IC title, and hopefully Crews wins the IC title, and hopefully Apollo Crews wins the Intercontinental title, and hopefully Apollo Crews wins the Intercontinental title this year at WrestleMania. Hopefully, but we'll see what happens. But 6-man tag, nah, and Big E losing, and your Intercontinental Champion Big E being pinned clean here, I didn't like it whatsoever. I did not like that at all. And then we go backstage with Edge, and he's confronting Adam Pearce. Edge says that Pearce cannot award Daniel Bryan for losing. Pearce says he has to do what's best for WWE. Edge says he hopes Pearce makes the right decision or else. And Edge is all angry and pissed off. Love it. Absolutely love it. Heel Edge is the best Edge. Don't at me. Heel Edge is the best Edge. Don't at me. Don't at me. And then we get the next segment of the show, the Kevin Owens show with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens says he invited Sami Zayn to be on the Kevin Owens show tonight to ask him a question. Sami walks out on the stage with his documentary crew. Sami Zayn. Sami says he already knows what Kevin Owens is going to ask him. Sami says yes, he is sorry. He crossed the line last week. Owens, when Sami Haluva kicked Kevin the previous week, Owens says that Owens says that's not what he was going to ask. Sammy says he knows Owens is wondering if he can still be in the documentary. Owens tries to talk, but Sammy cuts him off and says he is having a huge red carpet event for the trailer next week. Sammy brags about YouTuber Logan Paul is into it and will be here next week. It's going to be huge. Then everyone will see the conspiracy against him. Owens then says, "Notes are acting up again. Come on. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. My notes, man. Hold on. This is pathetic, these notes here. Come on. Again. Damn notes. Hold on. Hold on a second, guys, if I can get this to work. If I can ever get this to hold on. I apologize for this, guys. This is getting a little ridiculous here. This thing. Hold on. If I can get this here. Done. Owens then says he doesn't care about any of that, says Owens. And then before he can elaborate, Sammy then goes into a rant about Owens not really being his best friend. Owens then yells at Zayn that the only reason he let Zayn step into his ring was to ask this question. Owens challenges Zayn to a match at WrestleMania. Sammy says this is a mistake. Owens then gets in Sammy's face. He yells at Sammy, "You and I." Owens gets in Sammy's face, and Owens is like, "Hey Sammy, you and me at WrestleMania? Yes or no?" Sammy reluctantly, Sammy's like, "Hold it, hold 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 it," says Sami Zayn. No one's like, yes or no, yes or no. Then Sammy reluctantly agrees, and Sammy accepts Owens' challenge for a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Owens then says, Owens then says, Owens then says that, Owens then says that now that he has his answer, he is going to, says he wasn't gonna, do. Owens then says that now that he wasn't gonna beat the shit out of Sammy if he didn't have an answer. But now Owen says he wasn't going to beat the shit out of Sammy. Sammy didn't. And Owens is like, not going to do any harm unless you give an answer. And Owens says Owens says that now they have an answer. Then Owens then mudhole stomp, and then Owens does a mudhole stomp on Sami Zayn, does Kevin Owens. Owens caps off his assault with a stunner. Owens hits a stunner on Sami Zayn. And then that was that. The Kevin Owens show. Normally I'd shit all over it, but this Kevin Owens show here, I liked it because it's Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and they're real life best friends, and Sammy and Kevin together are awesome, and Sami and Kevin together and Owens and Zayn together are awesome. Anything those two touch, any you give them anything, they make it look good. That's how good. That's how good Sami Zayn. That's how good Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's how good Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are. And normally the Kevin Owens show, I hate it. Normally I don't like the Kevin Owens show, but this one I liked. This was a good one. Just based off Kevin and Sami and such and such like that. And they announced SmackDown for this Friday. Sami Zayn red carpet for his documentary with the Logan Paul. Hopefully Logan Paul eats a stunner from Kevin Owens this Friday on SmackDown Fox. Hopefully that happens. And Sami and Kevin one-on-one at Mania, it's official. And Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens one-on-one. And Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens one-on-one WrestleMania 37. And it's official. Now, I like Sami Zayn. I do, but he's been booked like a loser. Though I like Sami Zayn, though he's one of the Sami Zayn is one of the good things of SmackDown these days. Sami Zayn is one of the good parts of SmackDown. Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn's a genius. And I mean, and I'm looking forward to this documentary with Sami Zayn. But Logan Paul, man, hopefully he eats a stunner from. But Logan Paul, hopefully he eats a stunner from Kevin Owens this Friday on SmackDown on Fox, and we'll see what happens with that. And Sami and Kevin, I mean, and yeah, now Kevin Owens, he had the good food for Roman Reigns over the Universal title with Roman Reigns as the tribal chief and all. And Sami, he's been booked like a loser, but I do really like Sami Zayn though, and Sami Zayn's one of the good things of SmackDown, and Sami Zayn's one of the good parts of SmackDown. And Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, one-on-one match at WrestleMania this year in Tampa. Just like Cesaro and Seth Rollins, this should be a good match here too with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. This should be a good match as well at WrestleMania this year that should be a good match also for this year's WrestleMania in Tampa with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That should also be a good match this year for WrestleMania this year in Tampa with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And KO show segment. Good segment here with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens as well. And that is all I got to say on that. And then we go backstage with Daniel Bryan. He tells Adam Pearce that deep down he knows the right decision to make. And then we go backstage with Bianca Belair. She says if she retaliated against Sasha Banks at Fastlane, Bianca Belair says if she retaliated against Sasha Banks at Fastlane, Banks wouldn't make it to WrestleMania. Banks would not make it to WrestleMania. Belair says Banks is great. Belair says that Banks is great, but she is better. Belair says she is going. Belair says she is going to handle some unfinished business with Natalya. And then we get the next match: Bianca Belair versus Natalya with Tamina, aka Deadweight, as Adam would call Tamina Snuka, as my good old buddy Adam would call Tamina Snuka. And then my notes again. I don't know why it does this all the time. Something's happening with my notes tonight. I apologize for this, guys. My notes kind of acting up right now, so. There we go. Now, Bianca Belair versus Natalya. Bianca Belair versus Natalya. As soon as the bell rung, Belair drop kicked Natalia. Belair drop kicks Natalia. Belair beats down Natalia in the corner. Does Belair? Belair then chases Natalia around the ring. Belair then chases Natalia around the ring. Belair traps Natalia in the corner and lands a few boots. Natalia hits a slingshot. Atomic drop. Belair body slams Natalia. Belair goes up top. Banks walks out on the stage. And then in the confusion, Tamina then super kicks Belair off the apron with the referee distracted. And then we go to the commercial break. And then coming back from the break, Natalia is then working over Bianca. Bianca fires up and hits a spinebuster. Belair grazes Natalia with the standing moonsault. Natalia tries a sharpshooter, but Belair avoids it. Discus lariat from Natalia. Belair rolls out of the ring. Banks then begins to mock Bianca. Bianca and Sasha then argue. Belair then slaps the taste out of Sasha Banks. Does Bianca Belair. Belair then hits the ring and drops Natalia with the KOD for the win. And Bianca Belair defeats Natalia, which was the right move. A decent little match here with Bianca Belair and Natalia, but not really much here. And then after the match, Banks then attacks Belair from behind with the backstabber. And then that was that. So Sasha Banks officially a heel here. Good. Now, Sasha and Bianca here. I do want to talk about this. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. Two things I want to talk about it. Sasha Bianca, SmackDown Women's title. That's set for night 1 of WrestleMania this year. Now, if you were to ask me, hey, Nick, which match should main event Mania this year for night 1? Lashley and McIntyre or Sasha and Bianca? Sasha and Bianca. I like McIntyre and Lashley. McIntyre I like, and Lashley was booked perfectly, and Lashley, he was booked perfectly in 2020 with the Hurt Business, but Lashley McIntyre is mid-card at best. Unless you add Brock Lesnar in there. Then I'd say yes with McIntyre and Lashley in the main event of night 1. But Sasha and Bianca, but with the main event of Mania night 1, I think Sasha and Bianca deserve it, to be honest. Plus, Bianca won the Rumble, and the Rumble winners should main event Mania. But I read something earlier today from apparently Dirt Sheet Radio. Take them with it. I've never heard much about them, so I'd probably say take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, according to Dirt Sheet Radio, they're saying that McIntyre and Lashley is main eventing night 1. I don't know how true that is, but I don't know if it's true. But McIntyre and Lashley main event at night 1. Yeah, that's a no for me. Bianca and Sasha is the much better match than Lashley McIntyre. It is. It really is. And yes, Sasha and Bianca, the feud's been bad. The feud's not been good. The feud's been terrible. But they should still get, Bianca and Sasha, they should still get the Mania main event of night 1. They should still get that over McIntyre and Lashley. Oh, but the WWE title is the number 1 title. But the WWE title is number 1. But the WWE Championship is the number 1 championship in the WWE company, man. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? The very last time the WWE title was important was when Daniel Bryan won it in late 2018. That was the very last time that the WWE Championship was and felt important. Bobby Lashley I like, but is he a guy to move the needle for Monday Night Raw? No. McIntyre, they fucked him over They fucked him over with the WWE title not once but twice. One time with Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell 2020. That was strike one. Strike two was with The Miz. Strike two was with the fucking Miz at Elimination Chamber 2021. So with Drew McIntyre, with the WWE Championship, they fucked him over not once but twice. When Drew McIntyre should have never lost, like Hell in a Cell 2020. McIntyre should have never like Hell in a Cell 2020. McIntyre should have never lost the WWE title. Elimination Chamber 2021. McIntyre could have still been WWE champion post Elimination Chamber 2021. Like Hell in a Cell 2020. Orton did not need to win the WWE title, only for McIntyre to win it back less than a month later with the Raw before Survivor Series 2020. So Hell in a Cell 2020, so Hell in a Cell 2020, you didn't need to give the belt to Randy Orton. An Elimination Chamber 2021, you didn't need to put the belt on the fucking Miz, only to lose it 8 days later on Raw to Bobby Lashley. So with Drew McIntyre and the WWE Championship, they fucked him over not once but twice. And what if McIntyre, and WrestleMania this year, with McIntyre winning the WWE title, and WrestleMania this year with McIntyre winning the WWE title for a third time, but with in front of fans. What if that happens? Do you trust Monday Night Raw to book McIntyre right as WWE champ for a third time? Do I trust Raw with that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if McIntyre is WWE champ, and if McIntyre is the WWE champ for a third time, and if he loses it a third time, if that's the case, what is left for Drew to do on Raw? Nothing. If McIntyre is a WWE champ on Raw for a third time, and if Drew loses the WWE title for a third time, and if that happens, what is left for McIntyre to do on Raw? Nothing. Nothing. If Drew McIntyre, if he's WWE champion for a third time on Raw, and if he loses that WWE title for a third time, there's nothing left for McIntyre to do on Raw. There's nothing left for McIntyre to do on Raw. You might as well at the next draft move McIntyre to SmackDown at that point, in my opinion. You might as well with the next draft move McIntyre. You might as well with the next draft move McIntyre to SmackDown at that point. The Mania main event of night one. Sasha and Bianca deserve that. Despite the terrible build, the Mania main event of night one, Sasha and Bianca deserve that. Not McIntyre and Lashley. McIntyre and Lashley is mid-card or opening match at best. That is my take on all that. And pulling up my notes as well. Also, when Sasha Banks, also with Bianca versus Natalya, when Sasha interrupted and walked down to the ring, Sasha's attire, man, oh man, Sasha Banks' husband, Makaze, man, gotta give a lot of credit to Makaze, man. He does a really good job on making Sasha Banks' outfits, because Sasha looked real good with that black outfit that Sasha was wearing 2 nights ago on SmackDown back 2 nights ago. So Makaze, I give him a lot of credit, and Makaze does an excellent job on making Sasha Banks' wrestling attire and all. And Makaze, man, I think he deserves a raise, and Makaze does a very good job. And I really want to give a handshake to Makaze because he does a damn good job. So thought I'd say that. Mikaze does a very good job at making Sasha Banks's Mikaze does a very good job at making Sasha Banks's Mikaze does a very good job at making Sasha Banks's WWE wrestling outfits and all. So I just thought I'd say that. And then we go backstage with Edge. He walks into Roman Reigns' locker room. Uso then bows. Uso then shows up. Jey Uso then shows up, but Reigns tells Uso to calm down. But Reigns then tells Uso to calm down. Reigns then tells Edge he almost respect his nerve. Edge then tells Reigns that he claims to have all the stroke around here, but so now it's time to use it. Edge says that Bryan is trying to steal their spotlight and they have to stop that. Edge then says that Daniel Bryan is trying to steal their spotlight and they have to stop that. And that was that. And then the next match on the show, SmackDown from 2 nights ago, Rey Mysterio with his son Dominic Mysterio Rey Mysterio with his son Dominic Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler, Adam's favorite idiot Dolph Ziggler, with Bobby Roode. So, talk about this match real shortly. And I'm taking another sip of my drink right here. So, nice cold water. You can't get better than that, man. You cannot get better than that. So, Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler. Mysterio and Ziggler spill onto the outside of the. We had Mysterio and Ziggler going at it. They both spill on the outside of the ring. Mysterio then tries a Hurricane Run on the outside. And this was the cool spot of this match. And I was like, holy shit, man. Holy shit. Rey Mysterio tries a Hurricane Run on the outside of the ring, but Dolph Ziggler catches him. And he gives a last ride powerbomb to Dolph Ziggler, Rey Mysterio, over the barricade. And Ziggler gives Mysterio a last ride powerbomb over the barricade and into the Thunderdome virtual crowd, man. And this visual looked fucking cool, man. The way Ziggler just powerbomb lifted Mysterio to Dolph Ziggler, the way Ziggler did that to Rey, and the way Rey landed, holy shit, that looked fucking cool, man. From Dolph Ziggler, man. That was fucking great. That was fucking awesome. That spot looked cool in this match. Then after this, and the way Rey sold it, it's like, holy shit, man. And I was on Twitter individually DMing Adam during this match here individually. And I was telling Adam individually, it's like, Mr. Ziggler, Ziggler just committed murder here. And Adam and I were just laughing our asses off watching this. And yeah. And then Dominic then tries to check on his father, but Ziggler super kicked him. And I literally thought after this, Ziggler's going to win by a countout or something after this. I literally thought that. But then we go to the commercial break. Then coming back from the commercial break, and then Rey Mysterio hits his seated senton off the top rope. Ziggler tries a sunset flip. Mysterio rolls through and kicks Ziggler right in the head for a near fall. Bobby Roode then tries to get involved, but Dominic Mysterio cuts him off. Mysterio sets up a springboard to the outside. And then Rey Mysterio is on the ropes. He's about to fly, and before Rey Mysterio could fly, Ziggler then hits a mid-air, like Mysterio was this, and Ziggler jumps, mid-air zigzag, and Mysterio barely kicks out. Yes, a mid-air zigzag from Dolph Ziggler. That was the second cool spot of this match, man. Holy shit. This visual looked cool, and Mysterio is about to fly, and Rey Mysterio is about to fly. Dolph Ziggler catching him midair, and Dolph Ziggler catching him midair zigzag, and the way Mysterio landed off that midair zigzag and one of Dolph Ziggler's knees in the back of Mysterio. Holy shit! And I thought that was it right there, and missed, and it was 1, 2, and Rey Mysterio just barely kicks out, man. And I thought that was over there. I was like, oh, come on, that should have been over right there. Really should have. And if Dolph would have won off of that, holy shit, that would have been cool. Though I know, though Dolph Ziggler's Adam's favorite idiot, but man, oh man, a cool spot here with the mid-air zigzag. Cool, really cool spot. Really, really cool spot. So mid-air zigzag, Rey Mysterio just barely kicks out. Kicked out at like 2.8. Rey Mysterio barely kicks out of the mid-air zigzag. It was Rey Mysterio. Rey then trips Ziggler into a 619. Rey drops the dime for the win, and Rey Mysterio beats Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph Ziggler, one half of your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And Dolph Ziggler, one half of your SmackDown Tag Team Champions, loses clean. Champions should not lose clean. Champions should never lose clean. Champions should never be pinned or submitted clean in non-title match situations. Seriously. And Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, they've not defended those titles since they won them in January, which I don't like at all. Which I don't like whatsoever. And Dolph Ziggler, one half of your SmackDown Tag Team Champions, eats a pin here clean. I don't like that. I know with Dolph Ziggler, he's Adam's favorite idiot, but champions should not lose clean. Champions should never be pinned or submitted clean. Champions should never be pinned or submitted clean in non-title match situations. Seriously. Though Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler, this is a very good match here, but still. But Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, really good match here, and I know Dolph Ziggler, he's Adam's favorite idiot, but Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler here. But Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler here, really good match. And the way Ziggler performed well here, though Ziggler should not have been pinned clean here. The way Ziggler performed in this match, we should see the Ziggler more often. And if Ziggler did this more often, I don't think Adam and I don't think we would be complaining about Dolph Ziggler as much, but a good match. But Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler, 1-on-1. It's a good match nonetheless, though Ziggler should not have been pinned here. So that's all I got to say on that. And then we got the final segment, and then we get the main event segment of SmackDown from 2 nights ago. Adam Pearce. He's making his way down the ring. He gets in the ring as Adam Pearce. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jey Uso then interrupt him before Pearce could say anything. Bryan then soon joins them. Pearce then announces that there will be a triple threat match at WrestleMania this year for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. So it is official, folks. WrestleMania triple threat. Universal Championship on the line. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. It is official, and I don't care what the trolls say. Oh, fuck Daniel Bryan, man. He's all nosy and Edge's business. Brian needs to mind his own business, man. Brian's politicking his way into a world title match situation, man. Brian is selfish and Brian's booking himself to go over, man. Brian's booking himself, man. Daniel Bryan is selfish, man. Roman Reigns versus Edge. Roman Reigns versus Edge. We must see that, man. That's a dream match, man. Fuck Daniel Bryan, man. It's the Edge and Roman stuff. It's none of Bryan's business, man. It doesn't concern Daniel Bryan whatsoever, man. Fuck Daniel Bryan, man. Daniel Bryan needs to mind his own business. Daniel Bryan is way too goddamn nosy and Edge's. Daniel Bryan is way too goddamn nosy and Edge's business, man. Really. Bryan's all nosy and Edge's business. Daniel Bryan's all nosy and Edge's business. First of all, Roman Reigns versus Edge. Was that talked about in December last year in 2020? Absolutely not. Roman Reigns versus Edge. And also with Roman Reigns versus Edge. That never made sense from the beginning. It always should have been, this year's WrestleMania, it always should have been Drew and Edge, McIntyre and Edge, and Reigns and Bryan. That's what it always should have been for this year's WrestleMania. But Edge is part of the Raw creative team, and with the Men's Royal Rumble this year, Edge booked himself to win, and Edge put himself over with this year's Men's Royal Rumble. Edge booked himself to win the Rumble this year, when originally Daniel Bryan was supposed to win, but Edge booked himself to win the Rumble this year. And Roman Reigns versus Edge, that never made sense from the beginning. Oh, but it's a dream match, man. Roman Reigns versus Edge, I don't even consider that a dream match either. Oh, but Roman Reigns versus Edge, it's spear for spear, man. Not 2 years old. Spear for spear. You kidding me? And plus, go watch the SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso. I like Edge, but SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso, that was not a good match. And Edge looked fat and out of shape in that match. And Edge looked his old age in that match with Jey Uso on SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso. And on SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso, Edge looked fat and out of shape. And it's like SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso. That was not a good match. Looking back on that match, that was not a good match. That match wasn't good. Imagine how bad Edge versus Roman at Mania 1-on-1 would have been. That probably would have been even worse than Edge versus Jey Uso on SmackDown, in my opinion. And I like Roman Reigns, but he's not really a ringleader. He can't really carry a match. Roman Reigns I like, but he can't dance on his own unless he's in there with a AJ Styles or a Daniel Bryan or a Finn Balor or a Shinsuke Nakamura or like Johnny Gargano or a Tommaso Ciampa or like Jordan Devlin or an Adam Cole or Kyle O'Reilly, guys like them, or guys like them. It's like if Roman's not in there with those guys, like if Roman's not in there with those guys, like guys you can wrestle, it's like look at Roman Reigns versus what was I gonna say? Look at Roman Reigns versus trying to think of an example. Look at Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker from WrestleMania 33. That match was not good at all. That was not a good match. And I like The Undertaker, but at that time, Undertaker, at least 50, the guy was near retirement. It was The Undertaker at the time, then before Undertaker retired at Survivor Series 2020, last year, November 2020. But Roman Reigns I like, but he's not a ring leader. He's not a match carrier like an AJ Styles and all. Like a Daniel Bryan, like a Finn Balor, like those guys, like a Johnny Gargano, like those guys. And I like Edge too, but Edge is not a match but Edge is not a match carrier either. Maybe in the past years ago, but now, no. Edge is 47. He's almost 50 years old. And SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso, that was not a good match. That match wasn't good. Imagine how bad Edge versus Roman at Mania 1-on-1 for the Universal title would have been. The match would have been worse, I think. SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso. If that match wasn't good, Roman versus Edge at Mania for the Universal title 1-on-1, that match would have been worse than Edge versus Jey Uso on SmackDown with Edge versus Jey Uso. And go watch the SmackDown match with Edge versus Jey Uso. Edge looked fat and out of shape. And it's like you watch on Edge look fat and out of shape in that match, and it's like you want Edge versus Roman at Mania. Come on, why would you not add Daniel Bryan to make it a triple threat match? At least Daniel Bryan is at least a match leader. Daniel Bryan can carry a match, and it makes the match better. And Edge doesn't have to do a lot of work. Bryan and Reigns can carry the load, and Edge doesn't have to do much. And Daniel Bryan's ring leader. Daniel Bryan can carry a match. Like, you can put Daniel Bryan in there with a paper bag, and Daniel Bryan would make that pack, and Daniel Bryan would make that paper bag look like $1 million. That's how great Daniel Bryan is. Daniel Bryan can lead an opponent. Daniel Bryan can lead somebody to a good quality match. Daniel Bryan can do that. Reigns and Edge, as much as I like them, no. Daniel Bryan can carry a match. Roman Reigns and Edge, no. As much as I like Roman Reigns and Edge, Roman can't carry a match, and neither can Edge. So, why would you not add Daniel Bryan to make it a triple threat match? Why would you not add Daniel Bryan to make it a triple threat? Why would you not add Daniel Bryan to make it a triple threat match? And Daniel Bryan in the match, it makes the match that much better. It makes it that much better. And now with Edge as a heel, now before Edge turned heel, now with this triple threat, before Edge turned heel, and it's like, if you want Edge to be the Universal Champ so bad, then fine. Have Edge pin Daniel Bryan to win the title, and Roman doesn't have to eat the pinfall or submission because you're not pinning or submitting Roman Reigns. And then that way, Edge could have been Bryan. Edge could have won the Universal title, and then Roman wins it back shortly after Mania. But now that Edge is a heel, Daniel Bryan winning at Mania and winning the Universal title, that Daniel Bryan becoming the new Universal Champion this year at WrestleMania, that could very well happen. At this point, that could very well happen. I mean, the triple threat, the Universal title at WrestleMania with Roman, Edge, and Bryan. If I was booking it personally, I would have Reigns go over. But if Reigns is dropping the title at Mania, fine. Roman does not factor into the pinfall or submission. Edge or Bryan does. Either Edge beats Bryan, or Bryan beats Edge in the triple threat, because you're not beating Roman Reigns. Maybe Bryan pins or submits Edge in a triple threat. Bryan wins the Universal title at Mania. The crowd goes home happy. The WrestleMania crowd in Tampa goes home happy. Maybe Bryan wins the title at WrestleMania, then Roman wins it back after Mania, even if Bryan is the Universal Champ for at least a month, and then Roman wins it back after Mania. That could happen. That could very well happen, but we'll see what happens. And the original story, Edge wanting to win back the title he never lost, now the title never won, and now Edge from that is now the Edge where now I'm winning the title for myself, and Edge now a heel, the ultimate opportunist and all. And also so that with Edge's story, and Roman Reigns is a tribal chief and the head of the table, and Daniel Bryan's story, and Daniel Bryan's been teasing on SmackDown as of late, this could be his last WrestleMania moment. Now, Daniel Bryan's contract current WWE contract is up this year in September, apparently. And Daniel Bryan, I expect him to sign a new deal. He's not going to AEW. He's staying with WWE. But Daniel Bryan, he'll sign a new WWE deal, but he's going to go part-time. He's not going to retire, but how he's wrestling full-time every week now, he's not, like when he signs his new WWE deal this September, is Daniel Bryan. When Daniel Bryan signs his new WWE deal in September this year, he's not going to like wrestle week in, week out. He'll probably wrestle 2 weeks out of the 4 weeks each month, probably, if that. And Daniel Bryan's only booked when it's important. Probably that's that. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that. And also it's like, why would you not add Daniel Bryan? It's like if you don't add Daniel Bryan, what else does Daniel Bryan do at WrestleMania? Do you put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Hell no. I don't think he'd win it. And if he does, that won't mean two shits if he wins it. Do you put Daniel Bryan in the SmackDown Tag Team title match? No. Do you put Daniel Bryan in the IC title? Do you put Daniel Bryan in the IC title match at WrestleMania? No, that would make no sense. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura would be a good match, but both men are baby faces. It would make no sense. Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and Seth Rollins? No, that makes no sense either, because Cesaro and Rollins have been feuding for weeks, and they've done it without Daniel Bryan. So Bryan involved with Rollins and Cesaro, that would make no sense. So Bryan involved with Rollins and Cesaro, that would make no sense either. So it's like, why would you not add Daniel Bryan and make it a triple threat for the Universal title at WrestleMania with Roman versus Edge versus Bryan? Why would you not do that? Because if you don't add Bryan and make it a triple threat, so it's like Roman versus Edge versus Bryan. So WrestleMania, Roman versus Edge versus Bryan. Why would you not do that? Because if you don't add Daniel, because it's like with Roman and Edge, if you don't add Bryan in that with WrestleMania this year, don't add Daniel Bryan and make it a triple threat, Mania with Roman versus Edge versus Bryan. What else does Bryan do at Mania? What else do you do with Daniel Bryan at Mania? Why would you not add Daniel Bryan and make it a triple threat at Mania for the Universal title with Roman versus Edge? With Roman versus Edge versus Bryan. Why would you not add Daniel Bryan to Roman and Edge at Mania? Why would you not add Daniel Bryan? And you're not leaving Bryan off of WrestleMania. If you leave Bryan off WrestleMania, and if you leave Daniel Bryan off of WrestleMania, that's like leaving Okada off of Wrestle Kingdom. That's like leaving The Undertaker off of WrestleMania from years ago. That's what it's like, and it doesn't feel right, period. And if so it's like with Daniel Bryan, you're not leaving him off WrestleMania, and if you do, it's an absolute crime. It's an absolute travesty. It's absolutely unceremoniously. It's absolutely a crime and a travesty, and absolutely unceremoniously, in my opinion. So you're not leaving Daniel Bryan off of WrestleMania. It's like Bryan off Mania, and it's like Daniel Bryan off of Mania. You know you got a major fucking issue. You're not leaving Daniel Bryan off of WrestleMania. You're not leaving Daniel Bryan off of WrestleMania. It's not WrestleMania without Daniel. It's not WrestleMania without Daniel Bryan. And you're not leaving Daniel Bryan off of WrestleMania. I'm telling you that right now. And with these trolls saying fuck Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, and apparently it was like yesterday or last night, I was on my Twitter, and I see this hashtag saying hashtag fuck Daniel Bryan. Apparently trolls now on Twitter apparently there's trolls now on Twitter, now saying on Twitter, hashtag fuck Daniel Bryan. Fuck Daniel Bryan. No, fuck you. No, fuck you, because Roman versus Edge never made sense from the beginning. And it's like, and it's like, oh, but Roman versus Edge, we won it. Oh, now Roman versus Edge, now I have a problem with it. You know, you guys want a Roman versus Edge. It's like you want something. Then all of a sudden you bitch and complain. And those people that have done that, I have no fucking sympathy for you whatsoever. None. None. Roman versus Edge never made sense from the beginning. Next time a possible situation like that happens, think. Use your brain. What makes sense and what doesn't make sense? That's my advice to you. That's all I got to say on that. And fuck the trolls that say, fuck Daniel Bryan, man. Daniel Bryan's all nosy, and Daniel Bryan needs to mind his own business, man. Bryan's all nosy and Edge's businessman. Fuck the trolls that say that. Fuck the trolls that say that. I blocked 4 trolls on Twitter yesterday saying fuck Daniel Bryan and all. I swear. Trolls, I swear with the trolls, man. They have absolutely no fucking life. And fucking retards are the trolls, man. My God. Daniel Bryan and Roman and Edge at Mania, it makes it that much better. If you don't see that, I don't know what else to tell you. Daniel Bryan and Roman and Edge at Mania, it makes the match that much better. Makes that much better. If you don't see that, I can't help you. I can't help you. Daniel Bryan added and Roman and Edge at Mania is best for business. And that's a fact. Don't agree with that? Too fucking bad. Daniel Bryan is added to Roman and Edge at Mania. Don't like it? Tough shit. Daniel Bryan is added officially to Roman and Edge at WrestleMania this year. Don't like it? Tough fucking shit. Don't like it? Tough shit. Walmart has a discount sale going on with tissue boxes, buy one, get one free at Walmart. You know, Walmart has that, I heard. Go buy yourselves a box of tissues and go cry me a fucking river. Fucking idiot trolls who don't know any better. Daniel Bryan added and Roman and Edge at WrestleMania is best for business. It is best for business. Daniel Bryan added to Roman and Edge at Mania is best for business. It is best for business. And then Edge and Bryan brawl as Reigns then yells at Pierce. Reigns drops Bryan with a Superman punch. Reigns gets a chair, but Edge spears him before he can do anything with it. Uso then hits the ring and gets a spear from Edge as well. Does Jey Uso. Edge then hits everyone with a steel chair. Edge then lays Reigns and Bryan's heads on the chairs. And then before Edge could strike, Uso then provided enough of distraction for Reigns to get away. WWE officials then hit the ring. And then Edge hits both of them with the steel chair. Does Edge. And before that, Edge was this close. Edge was this close to hitting the concerto on Daniel Bryan and was like, oh man, please do it. Please do it. And that would have been awesome, but they didn't do it, which I was very upset with, man. But one of these weeks on SmackDown, man, Edge just got to hit Daniel Bryan with that concerto, man. I'm telling you. But that was that. And that is how SmackDown went off the air 2 nights ago. And a good ending segment with SmackDown from 2 nights ago. SmackDown 2 nights ago was uneventful. I mean, it wasn't the worst show. It wasn't the worst episode, but it was pretty uneventful. If you ask me, SmackDown was pretty uneventful. Was it better than Raw? Yes, but without Roman, it would be just as bad as Raw. But that's all I got to say on that. SmackDown, not the worst episode, but not the worst episode ever. But SmackDown 2 nights ago was pretty uneventful, if you ask me. In my opinion. And that's your SmackDown review from SmackDown 2 nights ago with SmackDown March 26th. With SmackDown March 26th of 2021. Follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31. And make sure to hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to the Fiori Station YouTube channel as well if you've not done so already. Hit the bell for all notifications as well. And again, be sure to hit a like on this video as well. It'll be greatly appreciated. And that is that, folks. And as far as the review video for NXT and NXT UK and AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday and Thursday, as far as that goes, I'm thinking about pre-recording that on Zoom and then uploading it on the channel. So thinking about doing that right now as well. And that is that. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the SmackDown review video right here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you liked the video and hope you guys had a good time with the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, thank you guys so much for joining me here for the SmackDown review video right here in the channel, right here in the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time right here on the channel for more good content right here on the Furious Nation, right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time right here in the content, right here in the channel for more good content right here on the channel. And the review video for NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite from this past Wednesday and Thursday, as far as that review video is concerned. I'm going to start pre-recording it right now. And after I pre-record that right now, I'm going to upload it on the channel. So look out for that. And that is that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will talk to you guys later.